Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Christ has not only spoken to us by his life but has also spoken for us by his death. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. Face the facts of being what you are, for that is what changes what you are. Life has its own hidden forces which you can only discover by living. To cheat oneself out of love is the most terrible deception. It is an eternal loss for which there is no reparation, either in time or in eternity. The highest and most beautiful things in life are not to be heard about, nor read about, nor seen but, if one will, are to be lived. Our life always expresses the result of our dominant thoughts. Hope is passion for what is possible. I found I had less and less to say, until finally, I became silent, and began to listen. I discovered in the silence, the voice of God. The self-assured believer is a greater sinner in the eyes of God than the troubled disbeliever. The question is not to be or not to be, it is what we should be until we are not. Patience is necessary, and one cannot reap immediately where one has sown. Father in heaven, when the thought of thee wakes in our hearts, let it not awaken like a frightened bird that flies about in dismay, but like a child waking from its sleep with a heavenly smile. The tyrant dies and his rule is over, the martyr dies and his rule begins. Just as in earthly life lovers long for the moment when they are able to breathe forth their love for each other, to let their souls blend in a soft whisper, so the mystic longs for the moment when in prayer he can, as it were, creep into God. People understand me so poorly that they don't even understand my complaint about them not understanding me. It is very dangerous to go into eternity with possibilities which one has oneself prevented from becoming realities. A possibility is a hint from God. One must follow it. Men think that it is impossible for a human being to love his enemies, for enemies are hardly able to endure the sight of one another. Well, then, shut your eyes and your enemy looks just like your neighbor. Adversity draws men together and produces beauty and harmony in life's relationships, just as the cold of winter produces ice flowers on the window panes, which vanish with the warmth.